quick start, and thank you very much for joining us on the news in Africa and the world. We open this edition in Mali, where the former foreign minister Mokhtar Ouane has been named by the interim president Bandor as prime minister as the country struggles to return to normalcy. The appointment on Sunday opens the way for the country's neighbors to lift sanctions imposed after its August military coup. A civilian head of government was the precondition for the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to lift sanctions it imposed 2 days after the August 18 coup. The bloc is also seeking the release of all detainees from last month's coup, which saw Mali's president at the time, Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta, detained. Though he was subsequently released, others including former Prime Minister Boubou Cissé are still in jail. One, a veteran diplomat, served as Mali's ambassador to the United Nations from 1995 to 2002 and as foreign minister from 2004 to 2009 during Amadou Toumani Traoré's presidency. In Togo, the Prime Minister Komi Selom Klasu and his government have resigned in an expected political reshuffle delayed by the coronavirus pandemic. The move was anticipated after President Faure Gnassingbe was re-elected in February for a fourth term in office after a constitutional change allowed him to run again. The president congratulated the Prime Minister and his team for the economic, political and social efforts and encouraging results despite the health crisis around the world. A statement on the presidency's official website said Klasu has served as prime minister since 2015. The president's election win, which was disputed by the opposition, extended more than a half-century of rule by the Gnassingbe family. The president is set to appoint a new prime minister shortly after. And in South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa has issued Defense and Military Veterans Minister Nosoviwe Mapiza-Kula with a formal reprimand for conveying an ANC delegation to Zimbabwe on an aircraft of the South African Air Force, the SSAF. The head of the state has further sanctioned Mapiza by imposing a salary cut for 3 months starting from November 1, 2020. She was part of a delegation from the ruling African National Congress Party that flew to Zimbabwe on an Air Force jet earlier this month to meet with the ZANU-PF party. The move sparked public outrage as South Africans called for the minister's resignation, but she defended the trip, saying she was on official duty and has only given other ANC officials a lift. She will now see her salary redirected to the Solidarity Fund, which was established to support the country's response to the coronavirus. The president also directed the minister to reimburse the total cost of the flight to Zimbabwe. The statement from the presidency equally noted that the minister failed to act in the best interest of good governance, failed to adhere to legal prescripts warranting care in use of state resources, and acted in a way that is inconsistent with her position. Out of Africa, President Emmanuel Macron on Sunday accused Lebanon leaders of betraying their promises over their failure to form a government in the wake of the Beirut port blast. He gave the country's political class 4 to 6 weeks to implement his roadmap but rule out immediate sanctions. The country premier designate Mustafa Adib stepped down over the weekend for failing to form a reform-minded government. President Macron said that the Lebanese authorities and political forces chose to favor their partisan and individual interest to the detriment of the general interest of the country. He also sent a pointed warning to the Iran-backed Shiite group Hezbollah, which was well represented in the outgoing government, and some analysts accused of holding up the process. Macron, who had visited Lebanon twice in the wake of the explosion, had repeatedly urged the Lebanese not to waste any more time in forming a government. He also said it is now up to the Lebanese officials to seize this last chance by themselves. To the the United States of America, pointing out that it's totally fake. U.S. President Donald Trump has denied he paid just $750 in federal income taxes in 2016 and 2017, the year he ran for president and his first year in the White House. The Times also discovered that Trump claimed to have spent a whopping of $70,000 to have his hair tied for The Apprentice and benefited from a massive tax refund of $72.9 million in 2010. Released in a report on Sunday, September 27, the New York Times said that Trump is the only president in modern times not to make his tax filing in public, pay no federal income taxes in 10 of the past 15 years, and campaign for office as a billionaire real estate mogul and successful businessman. The U.S. president dismissed the report at a news conference in the White House, citing he paid taxes, though he gave no specifics. And long and standing tensions between Armenia and Azerbaijan appear to have flared up in the contested Nagorno-Karabakh region, with both sides accusing each other of attacking civilians amid reports of casualties that stands at 39. The former Soviet rivals that have been locked since the early 90s in a torrential dispute over the Armenia-backed secessionists, reporting this Monday that their forces were shelling the town of Tatar. The region is internationally recognized as part of Azerbaijan but controlled by ethnic Armenians. Martial law has been declared in some parts of the three regions respectively. Many foreign countries have urged both sides to cease hostilities immediately, with Turkey standing by Azerbaijan and Russia supporting Armenia. That was it for today's edition. Thanks for watching. Do take care and stay safe in the company of programs on DBS Television.